Hey guys, welcome to day 17. I didn't film an intro this morning, but we're doing another tag. AuthorTube Newbie tag. Get excited. Alright, so AuthorTube is basically a collective of people who write and make YouTube videos, and since I'm one of those people, I'm going to do this tag. I was tagged by Clara from Clara Reads Books. She's super awesome. We did a live stream last week. We're doing a live stream on Sunday. So if you're interested in live streams /sprints /people who write on YouTube, check that out. And now, on to question 1. How did you find out about AuthorTube? Well, I found out about AuthorTube in the exact same way Clara did, so this is going to be a boring answer. But Cam from Wolfshot Publishing, who's super awesome, has a better accent than I do, and also writes, did a video about it, and he's awesome. Check out his channel. I'll link it down below. Also, if you're from Australia, small side note, his accent may not be better than mine because you hear his voice all the time, or at least his accent. And I'm not from Australia, so I don't have an Australian accent, but I don't think I have any Australian viewers. We will see. Let me know. Question dos. What genre do you write in? I tend to stay in the action thriller kind of genre. I'm a big Tarantino fan, and I would love to be him someday. Yeah. I've also written comedy. I've written kind of just realistic fiction, like indie kind of stuff. I typically write movies, not novels. If you haven't been watching my videos, then you maybe don't know that. So typically I write screenplays, and they tend to focus on the action kind of revenge-y-esque genre. So yeah, but I think the best thing I've ever written is actually a sitcom pilot. So there's that too. Question 3. What is your preferred writing tense? Wait, I have to read this question again. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? I would say, since I typically write screenplays, I like present tense third person because that's what they're in. Although I've been playing around in past tense third person limited in my novel, which I seem to enjoy a lot. I really like the kind of manipulation that you can do with third person limited. That is kind of different for me, but I've been enjoying that so far. Question 4. Are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? I am a pantser with a minor little bit of planning. What typically happens is I go out and I spend money on like index cards or a notebook to plan, and then I do a little bit, and then I get bored of planning, and then I just jump right in and I write something really bad at first, and then I go back and edit. That has kind of been the cycle that I've gone in. I did plan out my novel a little bit more because NaNoWriMo is super stressful, and I wanted to have a bit more of an idea of what I was doing, but for the most part, pantsing it has been the way I've gone. Are you published, self-published, or yet to be published? This is an interesting question because, like, everything that I've written up until this point that's been at length, like a long story, has been screenplays. So I'm obviously not published because they don't publish those. I have had a short story or a piece of flash fiction published in a very small local literary journal back home. But yeah, I've never really been published. And if you're self-published, aren't you actually published too? Like, I don't know. But I'm not published, so yet to be. The next question is basically, where are you published and who's your agent? Or if you're not published, who would your dream agent be or dream publishing house? And I don't have a good answer for this because I don't know that much about the book world, and I feel like such a poser right now. Like I shouldn't even be doing this tag because I don't have an answer to this question. I would say that my dream scenario for anything I write, though, would be that it gets into the hands of the people who not only would enjoy it, but it would like affect them in some way. It would make them feel good or make them question their like train of thought. It would make them like have some sort of feeling. That would be my general goal. And if I can get that through self-publishing, if I can get that through making my own movie, like self-financing, if I can get that through publishing through a publisher, that would be awesome. But whatever way I can get there would be my dream scenario. The next question is, what AuthorTube related content can we expect to find on your channel? So I have done a daily vlog during Nano. This is one of them. I've also done some like prepping for Nano videos before, like in October. And then after this NaNoWriMo season ends, I will most likely continue to do videos about writing because I enjoy them and they seem to get like pretty good feedback. I would say that most likely once this is over, I might transition back to screenplays. And if you're interested in writing those or how to write them and how they're different than novels, then definitely check back because I plan on doing some videos about that kind of subject, like difference between screenplay and novel and how to write screenplays, formatting, stuff like that. The next question is, when did you start writing? So funny story, I started writing from like the beginning. I don't remember when I wrote my first story, but my parents have recently uncovered some old things that I'd written that were picture books. And I don't know how old I was, but I do know that there are a bunch of words in there that are completely misspelled or completely incoherent. And I thought I was saying something that meant something and it didn't mean anything. So pretty young. The next question is, what was the first story you ever wrote? Now, the first story I can remember distinctly writing involved me and my best friend at the time. His name was Tim, and I've talked about it a couple times, I think in one video and then in the live stream. And the basic premise of this book was there were these blue portals and there were these two kids who could jump through these portals. They could find them and jump through them and go to different times. So like they jumped through one and they were like around Abraham Lincoln and the White House, and they jumped through another and they were around Genghis Khan. And I remember writing this in the 4th grade. And I don't know what the story was really about other than time travel. Like I was in the 4th grade. I guess I didn't have a good idea of structure and plot, but that was the first story I can like distinctly remember writing. The next question is, what authors have inspired your writing the most? So on the book side, I'm a big Chuck Palahniuk fan, and I know that I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I've never heard anybody say it who knew what they were talking about. So yeah, Fight Club, Snuff, and like really all of his books, but Fight Club and Snuff are like two of my favorite books ever. And Choke is another one that I just adore. And if I could be Chucky P for a day, that would be super awesome. I also enjoy Stephen King. I know that's a super cliche answer, but I enjoy his writing a lot. And then J.D. Salinger, Catcher in the Rye, is probably my favorite book of all time, which makes me sound like a scenester, but whatever. I really enjoyed that book. And then on the screenplay side, Quentin Tarantino, who I've already mentioned, Aaron Sorkin, obviously, like he's just a master at writing. If I told you everybody who inspired me on the screenwriting side, it would be a 20-minute video of me just listing names. So Tarantino's work, man, I could do 100 videos on that, but we're going to leave it at that. The next question is, do you schedule your writing sessions or do you just get to it when you get to it? And for me, this is dependent upon the time of my life. Right now, NaNoWriMo, I don't really schedule them, but I know that I'm going to come home, eat dinner, watch a little bit of TV, and then write because that's how I have to do it because I have a job. Other times in my life I have scheduled, like I knew that I was going to be working at this time and I would write then when I had like kind of a fluctuating schedule. So yeah, it's a little bit of both, but mostly it's I write when I can because of other obligations. The next question is, do you write by hand, computer, typewriter, and where do you typically write? So if I had a typewriter, I would love to write on it because, you know, hipster, whatever. I'm just kidding, but really typewriters are cool. I only write on the computer. If I wrote by hand, no one would be able to read it, including myself. Sometimes I will jot down notes by hand, but even like when I just have a random story idea, I tend to like put it in my phone. And then where do I typically write? Well, this month I've been writing at home a lot because I can't go to coffee shops and stuff like that every single day. Writing in coffee shops and like Panera, like that sort of stuff is my favorite because whenever I'm low on inspiration, I just take my headphones out and listen to people around me, and I just kind of get infused with like other people's personalities, and like it tends to motivate me and give me ideas for characters or situations or dialogue that I may have not have had before. The last question is, what are you looking forward to most now that you're a part of AuthorTube? And I didn't realize that making this video would make me a part of AuthorTube. Do I get like a membership card? Do I make my own? Is there like a monthly meeting? Do we have like an award ceremony? I need to know the details. I don't know. I just got tagged in this video, so like I wasn't aware that I'm a part of like a clique now. This is cool. I'm excited. All right, so that was the AuthorTube Newbie tag. I am going to tag 2 people that I know may or may not do this. So first person, Jessica Reads and Writes. She runs an awesome channel. She's doing Nano as well. I believe she's an English teacher, and she gives great advice and has some like really awesome motivational videos. I will link her down below. And then Boho Bookworm, her name is Jade. She's a part of the writing group that I'm a part of, and she's super cool. And yeah, I'm gonna tag her in it too because she writes as well. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today, which is super lucky because my camera is about to die, so I'm gonna make this really quick. If you like what I'm doing, hit that like button. I would super appreciate that. If you want to, hit that subscribe button. I have new content every day for the month of November, and after that, 2 or 3 times a week, hopefully. And then if you want to share this video on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any kind of social media, it does not matter. I would super duper appreciate that and love you guys forever. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. If you want clarification on any answer that I gave, also leave those down below. And if you have any ideas about what to do post Nano with my channel, if you have specific topics that you'd like me to talk about, especially about like screenplays and stuff like that, I don't think that's like a idea that's super covered on AuthorTube in general, leave those down below. I said down below 600 times in that sentence. Sorry. I appreciate everything that you guys do for me, the likes, the comments, the shares, everything, and I hope you guys have a super awesome Nano. I hope writing is going super well for you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.